Welcome back to From the Road with Love and our 1986 Toyota 4Runner project. Now if you remember a few episodes ago when we first got the 4Runner, we identified it had a problem with the brakes. Press the brake down and then they jump down. Okay. So when you go to slam on the brakes, they sort of... Now as daunting as it is, today's the day we try and fix that. Now if you're not super keen on going into all the details of that repair job, we are going to do a wrap-up video of the whole project, so make sure you hit subscribe below to be informed when that one comes out. Okay, so we've hopefully narrowed the brake problem down to either the booster or the master or a combination of both. Now, did a little bit of research online and it's possible to upgrade these ones with parts from a later model Toyota Hiace Surf and stuff. Now to make sure the lines and cables are on the right side, we've had to order the master from the States, and the good news is these parts have finally arrived. It's like Christmas. Alright, we've got our brand new brake booster and our brand new brake master. Now being a brand new brake master, we're going to have to bench bleed this one. Because when you try to bleed a new one on the car, it might sit on a little bit of an upwards angle, you can't get all the air out of the system. So when we bench bleed it, we can angle it down and get fluid all the way through the system, get rid of any air bubbles beautifully. Okay, so to bench bleed a master cylinder, say that one fast, we need the master cylinder, we need some brake fluid, the one that we're going to use in the vehicle today is .3. We need something to hold the master cylinder, so I've got this clamp. Now I don't know if it's mounted anywhere, so we're just going to press it up against the wall. We need something to catch the brake fluid in, and something to press the master cylinder in with. Hopefully this is going to work. We might see this upgrade throughout the morning. Okay, so we've managed to make a bit of a rough bench bleed setup here. Probably not the best way to do it, but we've got our master cylinder mounted securely with these bits of wood. We've got two hoses coming out of the outlet valves, and we've got them basically set up so that they can't allow air back into them. We've got one going into the top of the reservoir and one going into this one-way bleeder kit bottle. Now number one rule working with brake fluid, put gloves on. It is as corrosive as, probably won't go there, but yeah, it's corrosive. Now you want to use something blunt to push this master valve in. Hope that no air comes out. Now you'll be able to see bubbles going through the tubes, what the setup would be, so we didn't manage to film that, but there's still a couple little tiny bubbles going through the system there. Hope the neighbours don't see me doing this. Looks a bit sus from the street. So we'll just keep doing this until you literally don't see a tiniest little bubble go through. We're back. Okay, so we've bench bled the master cylinder now. Now it's time to remove the old one and get ready to install the new one. We're doing the master cylinder and the brake booster today. And we've got our service manual in case we get stuck, because we're both amateur mechanics, if you can even call us that.
Weekend warriors.
All right, let's go. What's step one? Raise the engine bonnet.
Oh,
nice.
Done. Got there.
Done.
Easy.
Disconnect the negative battery terminal.
One of each.
Did the negative battery terminal, done. Disconnect the fluid level warning lamp switch and connector. So come over here. Okay.
Disconnected.
Done. Racing through them. What's next? Jeez, how we disconnect the brake fluid outlet pipes. Okay, this is where you got to be a bit careful. So if you're ever working on your brake lines, always use a flare nut wrench, which is like a normal wrench, but it's a little bit more closed up. That'll stop you stripping the thread on it, which brake attachments are way more susceptible to being stripped.
Yep.
Oh,
what didn't you do, Ollie? Tell me. Hey, important step. Didn't say that in the book. It's manual though, did it?
No, yeah, surprising.
I actually go get my ones.
You might be like wondering, why is that all curly and cable? That seems like a waste of battery line, but it's because with all the shuttering an engine does, if they had that like a hard line, it would be way more likely to snap. So they put that in just to absorb like a lot of the movement. Is it that way, is it?
That's the way.
Oh, it is too, okay.
Yep.
Thanks, Andy. We'll cut that bit out.
I just didn't say anything on camera, but we're on.
Okay.
We
We've got both brake lines out now. What's the next step?
Remove the master cylinder retainer nuts. So I believe those four nuts.
What do they look like?
Those four nuts
14?
at the back there.
12 or 14?
See those. I'm going to go with a 14.
All right, I trust you.
1, 2, 3, and 4. To remove that plate. Those are the ones. Beauty.
Oh, yep, it's dripping away, isn't it?
Just rotate.
Leave it on since we're replacing the...
Replacing both.
Yeah, there you go, it's cracked anyways.
I think you could. We're not replacing.
Okay, so we got that off. How does it look like?
So we haven't earned them yet, but thank you. Muffin. How's this going? No more drips? Oh,
Well, you know what's a bad sign? I don't think there should be fluid in here.
Yep, pushing past the seal, is it?
Yeah, so I think that's part of our problem there.
Remove the brake master cylinder. Yep, disconnect the vacuum hose.
Yeah.
Well, at least you know that thing's
Yeah, I had tested
holding
that
pressure.
one.
Oh yeah, so working inside the unit, we have to get rid of, disconnect the brake pedal.
We're handing off to Adsy to do the inside stuff.
Oh,
Bit of an inside guy.
It's a bit hard to see, but it's all the way up there. This is the rod coming out, and there will be that's at the back here, spring is, on this side. There's a spring attached there, and it runs up into the dash. But you just got to unhook the spring here and remove this pin, and these 4 bolts. One click at a time, this will take a while. Bolts coming off. Push the rod through.
Oh,
That's the split pin.
chuck those in here maybe.
That's the circlip. What do you call it? Not circlip, but yeah, bobby pin.
What do you call it? Clevis pin.
Clevis pin. We have all 4 bolts removed. These 4, which come up here, like we were showing earlier. 1, 2, and 2 up above. And we also removed that clip as well, so the pedal's loose. So that should now slide out. That whole assembly should hopefully, for this whole unit, minus those.
Nice.
Okay.
Switch this across. They go a different way, does it?
Bend it the same sort of thing. That's kind of almost at the right spot.
A little bit. Up a little bit or down a bit?
I don't think I had it bent over as far. Maybe that sticks out a little further.
On. Come on.
Yep.
Come on.
Oh, did we get it?
Yeah.
Jeez.
To line it up. You know what worries me though? That's not all the way on.
Yeah, it should be okay. We might be able to adjust that a little bit anyway.
Yeah, we can do that. Adjust that one once. Alright, so this has to go through that hole. Got to slide it past.
It's a wider booster too, which will be pretty hard with these. Oh, you got it through?
Nice. And then line these bolts up. Make sure it's not pinching anything. Is it?
Hey, look at that thing. Nice and shiny. You know what it is?
What?
I got it. Hold on. It's just on hitting on the brake.
Oh, sweet.
Okay.
There we go. Well, that feels
It's bumping
good.
into that brake. The brake. Brake pedal. Brake pedal.
Brake pedal.
The brake. The brake.
Okay, so we've got our new booster in now. Adam's just inside tightening up the bolts to hold that one in. But unfortunately, we've realised we need a longer vacuum hose. The old one went from here to here. The new one needs to go from here to here. So number 1 supporter, Amy, is going to run down to the shop and get us one. Good job, Adam.
Yeah, thanks, mate. I was going to say, if you hear any panting and, you know, that's me in here in an awkward spot. Before you bolt the booster in fully, just check you don't need to adjust end of that rod that attaches to the brake. There's an adjuster here. Yeah, you can either move it in or out, depending on the depth. Once you've mounted the booster and secured it, it's pretty hard to adjust, we found.
Okay, so we've got the brake booster in. We've hooked up the clip and pedal and adjusted that a little bit. Next step is installing the master cylinder, which we've already bench pressed.
So it's just going to go.
Okay, so we've got our new vacuum hose.
So it's going to go.
It's going to go here. We've dummy installed it, and we'll just need to cut that to length and then put the clamp on. We've got our gasket, the new brake hose, and now next up will be bending this. It's going to be a shitty job actually, bending this around that way.
Oh.
Now, you don't want to just go bending brake hose like that because it'll kink, pinch, might split from doing all that. So what you need is one of these handy tools, about $15 from Tool Shop, and it's got these grooves in it and some other grooves in it here, and it'll help you bend the hose, bend them holes.
Bend them holes.
Okay, so if we get this one going down, around, and up, that should be doing it. We can probably use that up. Do that. Yes, that's more of a rotate. The brake bender.
Gasket's going on. Yeah, just hold it somewhere around here. The other one's holding it.
Okay. And the handbrakes on. Cool.
Try and put this bolt in gently.
Okay, and we have our master cylinder successfully installed with both brake lines in there. We had to bend that one a bit to get her on. Now we've just got to tighten, put these final bolts on, and she'll be good, and clean this brake fluid up.
Put everything back into place.
Now we just got to cut the vacuum hose to length, bolted all these up, and well, we've got a brand new brake booster, we've got a brand new brake master. They're both upgraded versions from later model Hiluxes. I'll put the description of those in the video description below. Now all that's left is to bleed the whole system, so we've got brand new brake fluid in the entire system. A little bit of a tedious process, we're not going to run you through all of that, but essentially what we'll be doing is going from the furthest away bleeder valve and brake to the closest. We've got a new brake bleeder valve, a little tube coming out of it. Someone will be in the car pressing pedal down, and we'll close it, we'll release it, open, press, close. It's going to pump new fluid through the whole system. It's a bit of an old-fashioned way. There's probably easier, better ways to do it if you're a bit of a more modern or skilled mechanic than us, but we're just going to stick to the old-fashioned way, baby. Okay, so we're working our way back to front, through the brake system, replacing this disgusting fluid with clean stuff. Okay, so this is the bolt you got to loosen up on the load sensitive proportioning valve, and this is where the fluid's going to bleed out. Okay, so we replaced the brake master and the brake booster, and we re-bled all the brakes, and it didn't seem to fix the problem, but there was a noise coming from this thing, which is the brake load proportioning valve. Now, apparently what this does is, as you brake forward, I think it sends more brake power to the front and releases some from the back, etc. I don't really know, some sort of magic stuff. But I believe what can happen is these can sort of seize up a bit. It was making a bit of a noise. We've got a reconditioned one here. We're going to put this one in and see if that solves our problem. Guy at the brake shop thought it probably wasn't this, but hopefully we can prove him wrong. Okay, so we've got our old boot off, got our new boot on, we've got our new LSPV ready to go on, so we're going to have to tighten up that from the back and then mount it all up. Okay, well, after an absolute mission of a job, we finally got the rear brake load proportioning valve, a new one in. That is this thing here. It was making a bit of a squeaky noise, but now I've got to re-bleed all the brakes again, which is fun, but hey, we didn't choose this life, it chose us. Taking it for a test drive just to see if the load sensing proportioning valve fixed it before we had a little crunch when we pressed the brake pedal. What have we got now, AZ?
I thought it was a smooth feel. Oh. That was straight out the gears. That should be fine.
Well, don't go too hard just because I don't want to skid.
No, I'll just brake. Oh. Beautiful.
Nice, yep.
Yeah, fixed it.
So we did it, baby.
Oh, look at that. Woo! Nothing. Fuck
wow,
yeah,
what a hell of a job that was.
Yeah. Well, now that we knew what the problem was, it actually wouldn't have been that hard. But...
So we've accidentally replaced the brake booster, the brake master. We've bled all the brakes, which I guess we would have to do that anyways. And we've replaced the brake load sensing proportioning valve, and that was the issue. Okay, so we fixed the brakes, we sorted the tyres, we fixed the window washers, and those were the things that needed for a roadworthy. So next step is, let's get the roadworthy guy down and see if we pass. Once we pass, that means we can get this thing road registered and start enjoying it.